And welcome back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we continue with pole day qualifying along with our expert analyst Greg Ray, the 2000 pole sitter here and four-time front row starter, and Vince Welch and Jamie Little on pit road. I'm Jerry Punch. Glad to have you with us here as pole day runs a day late this year because Mother Nature had decided to rain on our parade on Saturday, but so we're continuing with pole day qualifying. That's Roger Yasukawa, the Dennis Reinbold and Robbie Buell on machine, Dryer and Reinbold racing efforts. Yasukawa, 27 years of age and was born in Los Angeles, as he's hoping to get that car up to speed here. His first lap under the clock's 224.523 miles per hour.
You know, Roger Yasukawa only did a few races last year, and so this is a full-time ride for him this year. And I know he's very focused, and he wants to do better and better each and every week.
And the Investment Properties of America sponsorship. There's a look at Dennis Reinbold, who is a longtime owner here. He owns the cars of Yasukawa and Jeff Bucknam, the rookie who is yet to run here. Jeff, of course, the son of Ronnie Bucknam, the three-time participant here in the Indy 500 and a former winner in open wheel competition over at Michigan back in 1970. As you hear Dennis Reinbold, see Dennis Reinbold there talking to his drivers. He flashes by, giving Roger some updates on the speeds. Lap 3, 223.865. So he would be currently 12th quickest of the 15 cars. He would become the 16th car to qualify.
It looks like because of the order, Roger Yasukawa was the last one on the list. So looks like Dan Wheldon's getting ready to run next. He's got back in line.
Followed by Patrick Carpentier and then Vitor Meira. So the initial draw will be done. Now it's a free-for-all as to what can happen and how you get in line, and now it becomes very interesting. Lap number 4 for Roger Yasukawa in the Dryer and Reinbold machine. Average 224.131. Currently 12th of the 16 cars that have qualified. Let's go down to the other end of pit road. Vince Welch standing by with Thomas Schechter.
Thomas Schechter currently 8th on the pole, and the qualifying speed 226.0. Couldn't help but notice a little disappointment in your reaction.
Yeah, I mean, we ran a lot quicker early in the week, and we're actually not sure. I think downforce-wise, it's about as least we can go, and you know, we'll just have to have a look at it. But you know, that's Indy. Sometimes it's like that. We'll get it together for the race and possibly take this car out again.
I've heard so many drivers say we've got as much downforce out of the car as we can get, and we've got it flat out, and we're still not going very fast. At what point then do you just say, well, that's the best we've got and live with it?
Well, I think maybe a couple of minutes after this interview, I think my team boss might convince me that's all we got. But you know, I'm a little bit disappointed, but you know, that's the way it goes.
Would you, even if they say let's stick with it, would you press to go out and give it another run?
Well, you know, we have to see if we got a shot for pole and maybe take out my T-car and see what that can do. But, you know, if we don't have a shot for pole, then there's no use going for it. We might as well just, you know, don't risk it. But we'll see what we got.
Thomas Schechter.
All right, Thomas Schechter a bit disappointed. And on the racetrack right now, the Klein Tools Jim Beam entry, another one of the Andretti green cars. This is our current series points leader and the man who's had the hot hand here in 2005. 3 wins in the first 4 races. That's never been done in the 10-year history of the IRL IndyCar Series. We're talking about Dan Wheldon, the 26-year-old driver from Emberton, England. We welcome those of you, by the way, joining us on ESPN News. We are here with pole qualifying at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And you take a look at Danica Patrick. Boy, did she have a lot of anticipation, but this wiggle right there in turn 1 did a great job saving the car. That put her off the pole right now inside of row 2. Another rookie, Ryan Briscoe, does the Briscoe bump right there into the wall. The target car gets up in the air. He brings it back down. Rear wing gone. Left side gone. Briscoe okay. Back in a backup car. He'll be coming back out here momentarily. It's been a TK kind of day. TK meeting Tony Kanaan, our reigning series champion, took the checkered flag with a 4-lap average of 227.566 miles per hour. He's currently atop the leaderboard here as a provisional pole sitter. We're watching now his teammate, Dan Wheldon, on the clock.
You know, Dan Wheldon pulled his T-car out. He was 3rd in line with his T-car. And then, you know, prior to Richie Herton going out, he pulled that car out as well. Dan has a lot of momentum. You know, he's won 6 races. He's won 3 of the 4 races this year. I mean, he really is the new golden boy. Has a lot of momentum. So, again, I think Tony Kanaan has shown he's had the edge on Dan on speed all week long. But again, he's got a lot of momentum, and momentum can take you a long way here.
Absolutely. Green flag waving for Danny Wheldon. And remember, the rules here are today we will take the top 22. After 22, we'll begin bumping. Only the quickest 22 in the field this weekend. And any car that attempts to qualify can go back out for as many as 3 times today. We expect to see Danica Patrick back out. If she had not had that little bobble on lap 1, based on her other average speeds of her 3 of the laps, she would be on the pole right now. And we have never had a woman on the front row in the 89-year history of this great spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500. Right now, she sits inside of row 2, and we'll see what Dan Wheldon can do here. Lap number 1 for Dan Wheldon coming down, and the clocks click away. 225.249. That will not get it. He will not be a factor to bump off Tony Kanaan with that kind of first lap. And now, Greg, we may understand why Dan Wheldon pulled his car out in the first place a little bit ago.
Yeah, it looked like this morning he struggled to put laps back to back. He did a 227.49, which was good for 9th quick. That's very, very fast, but his teammate had 2.5 miles an hour on him. Doesn't sound like a lot, but here that is a ton. So I think he probably did struggle with the car this morning. Maybe didn't have all the confidence in it. And I think it's showing here why maybe he pulled both cars out of line.
Dan Wheldon, who came here in 2003 as a substitute driver with Andretti Green Racing because Dario Franchitti had been injured, ended up on his roof with an accident on lap 186 a year ago. When he came back, he finished 3rd behind Buddy Rice and his teammate Tony Kanaan. Trying to get it in the front row here, and the speed second time by a little bit slower, 224.909. He's currently in his 3rd lap as you watch Kim Green, one of the co-owners there. It's Kevin Savary, Michael Andretti, and Kim Green, the 3 owners of Andretti Green Racing.
You know, I think Schechter may have said it just perfect a while ago. Sometimes that's just Indy. You know, these guys have identical cars. They have, you know, a shock program that nobody else has, Showa Shocks. They have great Honda motors. They are probably one of the best teams I've ever seen in history as far as 4 different drivers really getting along, helping one another. But looks like he's struggling to find the speed that he wants right now.
Well, Dan Wheldon loves to go clothes shopping, and right now he's speed shopping here at Indianapolis because he doesn't have enough to get that car in the front row and possibly the front 3 rows. Right now he is 12th overall, but for you Dan Wheldon fans, do not worry, because I promise you, with that kind of speed, we're going to see Dan Wheldon back again at least one more time, if not twice more, throughout the afternoon. Remember, the rules are you can qualify the same car 3 times on one day here. So Dan Wheldon's average 224.308 miles per hour, and let's hear from his owner, Kim Green.
Well, Kim, we were talking about how you pulled Dan Wheldon's car out earlier. What was the decision?
Well, we weren't particularly happy with it in this morning's practice, so we made a lot of changes to the setup and, quite frankly, just did not make the tech line in time. So I know Dan won't be happy with this time either. So obviously this new system gives us a little bit less stress. So there's a good chance we'll re-practice that car, and knowing Dan Wheldon, he'll want to have a go at pole position and or at least a front row position. So we'll just see how things go.
Well, his teammate, one of your other drivers, is sitting on the pole. How could Dan Wheldon's time be that much different than his teammate Tony Kanaan?
Well, you know, it doesn't take an awful lot. A lot of fine tuning on these cars makes a big difference around this racetrack. So, you know, the conditions were pretty nice for Tony when he ran. I thought that would be a disadvantage, knowing what the track temperature was going to do. The winds come up a little bit. You know, we're by no means safe on pole position right now, and I know there's a lot of people would like to knock Tony off the front, and you know, we'll put his car through tech, and Tony's car will be sitting back out here, and we'll make a decision later as if we need to have another go. But it's exciting for the fans.
Definitely exciting. Andretti Green Racing has 4 cars in the field. Guys, we'll see if Tony Kanaan can get knocked off the pole.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Wheldon is 12th quickest. 17 cars have qualified. When we come back, French-Canadian Patrick Carpentier in the Red Bull Cheever machine will be on the clocks. And back at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Patrick Carpentier, the French-Canadian from LaSalle, Quebec, on for qualifying. He is a rookie here at Indianapolis. His first 2 laps, 220.057 and 220.0019 miles per hour for the Red Bull Cheever machine. They already have one car that's qualified. As you look at Eddie Cheever, behind him is Max Jones, and Cheever was not a happy camper because they have worked so hard. And if effort equaled results, this team would be on the front row. They have thrown everything they can throw at this car. They have worked so very hard, Max Jones and company, to try to get these cars up to speed. And I guess, Greg Ray, you've been there. It's got to be frustrating.
It is very frustrating, and certainly knowing what I know about Patrick Carpentier, what a great guy he is. You know, he's won at every level he's ever been at. Formula 2000, Formula Atlantic, over the Champ car. The guy knows how to drive a car, so it's not a factor of him being a rookie here. He's definitely, you know, maybe by the books he's a rookie, but in these types of cars he's not a rookie, and so I know he's frustrated. They don't know what's going on as far as why they can't find the speed, and again, I think Thomas Schechter said it best. Sometimes that's just the way it is. But if you look at his times, he is very, very consistent. So he's getting everything the car has to give.
Absolutely. He's got his foot planted in it because the times are very, very close. 200.05, 0.01, and 0.04. Can't get much closer than that. I mean, he's pedaling as fast as he can go. And right now he is 17th quickest. The only car slower would be his teammate Alex Barron at 219.958. So it'll be back to the drawing board somewhat for the Red Bull Cheever team as they're hoping to find some more speed. Got a feel for those guys who are working so very, very hard. They will head down to the other end where Vince Walsh is standing by right now with our current points leader.
This pit lane is a place where you find a lot of competitive people, whether they're crew chiefs or chief mechanics or owners or drivers, and Dan Wheldon, certainly one of those at the top of that list from a driver perspective, but a long face. What did you not get out of the car that you felt like was there?
I wish I knew. I mean, we started off the week very, very quick at the Speedway, and you know, we've just got slower and slower and slower, and we can't put our finger on it. We had a car that couldn't not do a 225, 226 early on in the week to a car that can barely do a 225 now. So it's frustrating because obviously you can compete for the pole here and you want to, and we're not even close.
Does that make it more difficult now to go back to the garage to try to make some changes to come back out a second time?
No, I mean, I'll for sure go back out a second time. You know, Indy's too special to me to sit on a time like that. So I'm going to work my hardest till I find out like what's wrong with this car, and we're going to try and put it right and get up the front.
It hasn't been as comfortable for you today as it has been during the course of the week. Have you made significant changes that would alter the balance or the feel of the car?
No, the car's comfortable. This place you can run flat out at without too much of a hitch. I mean, you have to hold on. Don't get me wrong, but that's not the issue.
Your speed at 224.3. What is a speed that would be satisfactory to you?
Anywhere near the front, and I'm nowhere near the front and capable of being there. So, thanks,
Dan Wheldon, Doc.
And obviously he is frustrated, sitting 12th on that board. There's the number 26 down on the bottom of the board. This weekend, the NHRA Powerade Series moves into Commerce, Georgia for the Summit Racing Equipment Southern Nationals. The elimination round today on ESPN 2 and 7 Eastern Time. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Marty Reed and Mike Dunn down in Commerce, Georgia for NHRA Powerade Series action coming up tonight at 7 Eastern Time. Well, here's a guy that a lot of people believe might be a sleeper here in Indianapolis. I don't know about qualifying, but on race day, because Vitor Meira, the likable Brazilian driver in the Rahal Letterman camp, turned the quickest lap of the race a year ago. During the event itself, Meira was the fastest car on the racetrack of all on that 180-lap event, of course, shortened by rain. So we'll see what he can do here in qualifying here in lap 1 in turn 1 as he is on the clocks now for 4 consecutive laps.
You know, Vitor is a fitness fanatic. He's in great shape. He's very, very committed. He's also very quiet. So I think he's really enjoyed, you know, being teammates with Buddy Rice and Danica Patrick. You know, they've got the lion's share of the media, and he's been able to sit back and just focus on his car, focus on his game plan, and really as a driver, to some degree, that's kind of a nice thing to do. But He's oh, look at that, 2:27.0 first lap.
Wow, currently fourth quickest, 2:27.096. Remember, his teammate is Danica Patrick, who right now sits inside of row 2 at 2:27.004. So had Danica not had the little bobble earlier, she would have been on the pole, because that bobble cost her 3 miles an hour, and she'd been even close to what she ran on lap 2, 3, and 4. She'd be solidly in the front row if not on the pole. Let's see what Vitor can do here on lap number 2. Bobby Rahal, David Letterman, the co-owners there. Henry Wolf, Jeff Britton, the engineer. Craig Gates, the chief mechanic on that car. 2:27.105, even quicker. And he is still fourth quickest, which means he would bump his teammate Danica Patrick back to fifth on the current speed charts.
You know, he's in the Panos chassis with the Honda Power, and they certainly have very, very good cars. He's very, very smooth. And again, if you look at the rear wing, he has his rear wing so far laid back. Very, very little downforce in the back of that car, and very, very smooth. That's why he's fast and near the front.
All right, the numbers coming in right now. Meira would be third overall as he takes the white flag lap. 1 lap to go. Lap 3, 2:26.808 for Vitor Meira. And remember, his teammate, there are 3 members of this team: rookie Danica Patrick, Vitor Meira, who you're watching, and last year's pole sitter and race winner Buddy Rice, who because of the incident on Wednesday is going to be unable to qualify this first weekend. He'll be back next weekend starting back in the pack, but a very strong team for Rahal Letterman.
You know, he was the 4th quickest car this morning at a 2:28.66, so that's quite a bit off of what he did this morning. But what I noticed about Vitor this morning is that he couldn't put a lot of laps together, so there's no questioning his bravery, but I don't think he's too comfortable in the car.
Average speed 2:26.848. That's the average, and considerably down from where they ran this morning. Got to wonder if we might see Vitor again. Why don't we ask the man who knows? Jamie Little down with Bobby Rahal.
Yes, well, he has 3 drivers. We're talking about Buddy Rice, last year's champion, Danica Patrick. So much buzz going on around your team. Vitor Meira tends to get overlooked. Where does he fit into this dynamic?
Well, he's like last year. He's done a lot of the race setup work and what have you. He's got a great feel for the car, and you know, I'm sure he'll be a little disappointed with that. But that's the fastest we've seen in quite some time. In qualifying. So, so far so good. He's done a great job, and he'll be very competitive race day.
So far in row 2. Update on Danica Patrick. Are we going to see her back out here today?
Well, if it was up to her, absolutely. We have to kind of have to weigh a few things. I don't think there's any doubt that she would be on pole if she didn't have that moment in the first corner. And we might go out and practice a little bit and see how it feels.
And the drama builds. We'll have to wait and see. Vince?
Patrick Carpentier is standing by, one of the rookies in this field. Certainly not a rookie from a race car driver's standpoint, but a rookie here at Indianapolis. How was your first 4-lap qualifying run here at the Brickyard? As tense as it's built up to be?
Yeah, it was not too tense, but it's a beautiful track, man. I love this place. You know, the car was perfect. We turned the corner, and I didn't have turned the wheel, and I must say, pretty much perfect car. You know, we just need a bit more grunt to accelerate a little bit more, but the car was a joy to drive. The team did a good job. It's a shame we're at the back like that, but they did a fantastic job.
So many of the drivers have had that frustration of standing here and visiting with me and saying the car feels good. It's just not going as fast as we want. When you're in that situation, what can you do?
I don't know. What can I do? I'm pushing the throttle as far as I can, and that's it. So I don't know what can I do. You know, we got to get maybe a little bit more power or something to move it forward just a notch.
Do you feel confident that you're a top 22 type of team today, and will you stand on that, or will you maybe look to come out and give something else another roll of the dice later?
Yeah, I'm hoping, because I think we have a good car. You know, once it's going to be the time for the race, I think it's going to even up pretty much everybody engine-wise. So I think I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully we're in the top 22, and we're getting ready to get started working on the race setup. So that will be good.
Only about midway through the day. Still a few hours left before qualifying shuts down. So we'll keep our eye on Patrick Carpentier and the Team Cheever Red Bull situation.
And that smile is real from Patrick. What a likable young man he is. A French-Canadian, 33 years of age, getting the Red Bull car in the field. Well, the track being open for practice, we'll come back and discuss what could happen possibly over the next few hours with Danica Patrick in just a moment.
Danica Patrick's teammate Vitor Meira, one who firmly believed that he had a shot at the pole today, but currently sitting 5th after his qualifying run of 2:26.848. Do you feel like you left a little bit out there, maybe mechanically or as a driver?
Yeah, we always can make things better. I mean, mostly after 4 laps, there's a lot to analyze it, and the balance of the car was really good. The balance was really good, but we could have made a little gain in gears, and just the wind keeps changing, and also temperature, it's rising a little. We're gonna go back to the garage and talk about it.
As far as positions are concerned, you're right next to Danica. Was your setup similar between the two cars?
Yeah, we're really close. We are really close, and that's what happens when we work together. I mean, everything that she tried and it worked for her, I have on my car, and vice versa. And that would have worked if Buddy was there too. I mean, and I'm pretty sure we were gonna be right there, as we are. I mean, fifth and fourth is not bad. So we just have to go back to the garage and make some improvements.
After she ran, did you make any adjustments to your car at all?
Yeah, we did some adjustments.
What were those?
Well, there was a little bit of gears and a little bit of a chassis, and again, we're gonna keep doing adjustments until we get it.
Give it another shot?
I hope so. It's not up to me. It's also up to me, but it's not only me.
The drivers always want to give it another shot, don't they?
Yeah, if it's up to us, I would just keep running the whole day until I get it.
It's those owners, and you've got to convince to give it another shot. Right now, Vitor Meira sitting in a handsome 5th spot. Not the spot he wants, but it's hard to beat 5th to starting position at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Doc?
All right, Vince, thank you very much. 19 cars have qualified. 3 spots remaining here on day 1. Tony Kanaan and Scott Sharp, Helio Castroneves. Castroneves, the only Toyota in the top 9, by the way. A couple of Hondas in 1st and 2nd with Kanaan and Sharp. Back in row 2, there's a look at Danica Patrick, the rookie right now. Will she go back out? We'll talk about that in a moment. That she and her teammate in 5th and 6th. Kosuke Matsura, the last year's Rookie of the Year, outside of row 2. It's an all-Chevy row 3 for Panther teammates. Buddy Lazier, Thomas Inge, the rookie, and Thomas Schechter. Back in row 4, the other Toyota there out of the Penske stable, Sam Hornish Jr., Bruno Jonquera, and Sebastian Bourdais, the Carl Haas boys, outside of row 4. Row 5, the reigning points leader right now, Danny Wheldon, Yasukawa, and Brian Herta. Back in row 6, Darren Manning, the Target Ganassi machine. Richie Hearn, the All-American team with Chevy power for Sam Schmidt, and Patrick Carpentier and Alex Barron, the final 2 to qualify in the Red Bull Cheever efforts in 18th and 19th spot. Glad to have you with us here on Pole Day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our guest analyst, of course, is Greg Ray, the 4-time front row starter here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and, of course, the 2000 pole sitter. And, Greg, we've been watching this unfold all day long. Now, I got to ask you, Danica Patrick, we know she's got the speed. She didn't have the wiggle going into that first lap. She'd be on the pole right now. Do they let her go back out? What do they do? How do they play it? I mean, it's a very sensitive psyche with a rookie.
Yeah, well, I think it's with any driver. You know, this is the world's biggest race. Everybody wants to be in this race. So every one of these drivers that's in the top 10, top 12, they knew if the car was a little bit different, conditions were a little bit different, that they could absolutely make, you know, the front row or run for the pole. So, you know, it's the $10 million question, I guess, because the drivers want to do it, but the owners want to make sure they get in the show and not have something silly happen to them.
Well, I mean, I guess it's at least a $100,000 question. That's what Pole's going to pay, plus that $100,000 plus more. But also what it does here for that team, for Rahal Letterman, and the fact that all week long she has been among, if not the fastest cars here. But a 23-year-old rookie, I mean, she has not at all performed like a rookie this week long. She's been so sedate and so composed and poised.
Yeah, I think if you look at her background, Formula Atlantic cars, Formula 2000 go-karts, you know, this has been her dream for a long, long time. So even though the world says she's a rookie, and maybe, you know, girls haven't been on the front row in the past, she has trained her whole life for this, and she's very, very focused. And, you know, I think that if they give her another shot, that she'll have a good shot for that.
Now, reminding people again, the format today is it will take the top 22 cars. We have 19 cars that have qualified. That means there are 3 spots. I can do my math. 19. There's 3 left to qualify here today. And then we begin the bumping process. So there are still some guys who have yet to go out to qualify. When will they go? Well, one of those might be a guy who was the hottest driver at the end of 2004. How about Adrian Fernandez? And he's with Jamie Little.
Yes, he is back here at the Indianapolis 500. He hasn't raced an IndyCar race in 7 months. Now he's here. His name is on 3 cars as a team owner. Adrian, at 42 years old, why come back to race and own cars in the Indianapolis 500?
Well, it's I wanted to race another time, one more time in Indianapolis at least, and this opportunity with Morris Known and my team was perfect to come back, and I feel pretty strong. The cars are running good. Scott is 2nd right now, and Koski is 6th. So we're just, this car was, we didn't have as much practice as we wanted, so we want to take it easy and we want to make sure it's on the show, and I think we have a good race car for the race.
Last year you finished 7th here at the Indy 500, the best ever by a Mexican driver. What was the reaction when you went back to your homeland?
Oh, it was fantastic, especially because the whole month we were so fast. Remember, I mean, Koska and myself, we were always on the top 2 through the month. So, I mean, it was a strong month, and we almost finished in the top 3. So it was a great month, and I'm excited just to be back again.
I know you just got married a couple months ago. How's that going for you?
I'm excited. I mean, this is the best part of my life. You know, I've been racing for 23 years, dedicated everything to racing, and you know, now I want to dedicate more time to our team with Tom Anderson and to my wife and our future.
Do you miss racing on a regular basis?
I do, being on the race car, but I don't miss all the things that goes around racing. So it's, you know, I've been very successful at what I've been doing, and sometimes you have to start making some calls. So I feel pretty good with everything.
It's good to see you back. Adrian Fernandez, he is going to go run some laps of practice, guys, and he does plan on trying to put her in the show later in the day.
And very popular Mexican driver. 11 open-wheel Indy-style victories for Fernandez, 3 of coming in the last 6 events of last year. There's the 2003 Series champion, Scott Dixon, getting buckled back in. More practice from Indy with Pole Day continues in just a moment. Back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Pole Day continues here at St. Speedway, Indiana, as we are opening the track for practice. And some of the cars, Scott Dixon getting back on the racetrack and trying to get the Target Ganassi guys up to speed. Darren Manning already qualified. He's inside of row 6. There is Dixon, who went out to qualify and waved it off. Of course, his fastest lap today, 225.765 miles per hour. He did not take the green flag, so does not have an attempt against that car. Still has 3 remaining. Dixon, of course, the 2003 Series champion, had 5 poles and 3 wins back in that championship year.
It looks like, from looking at the car in practice too, it looks like they put a little rear wing back in that car, and they may have made some setup changes to make the car more stable. Both Darren and Scott both said the car was really neutral, and Scott just said it was really uncomfortable.
As we watch Scott Dixon on the racetrack, I got to ask you, Greg Ray, typically what happens here on qualifying day, whether it's pole day or bump day, is everyone tries to go early, which we've now seen 17 or 19 cars go early, and then people sit around and wait till that final hour. We call it happy hour. That's when the track cools off and the speeds come back up. Will we see that today? Will the last hour be a scramble here again? Will people be going back out?
Well, I tell you, you know, they used to talk about happy hour, and they said happy hour was that last hour of the day where the sun starts to fall, temperature starts to drop, track temperature goes down, humidity starts to drop out of the air, and that has typically been very, very fast. If you look at the times from this week, the last couple hours a day didn't really make a big difference on the time. It was really just whether the car was good that day or whether they were drafting, and that was the big part of the time. So, you know, the rules are so much different right now than they were, you know, years ago, that I don't know that it was always one of those things to where if you had an early draw, I know as a driver, I didn't want to go first. I wanted to go last. I wanted to know what I had to aim at. And with the rules being different now, you know, Scott Sharp went first out, did a great job. But with the rules being the way they are, they can withdraw that and go again. So it's made a whole new strategy here that I don't think that anybody's really aware of, because the game hasn't been played. You know, you can talk about a chess game as much as you want to, but until you actually play it, you just don't know. And Roger Penske talking about keeping his cards close to his chest. all these guys are keeping their cards close to their chest.
Well, I've got to believe that in this final hour of Pole Day, because of the new rules which allow you to have up to 3 attempts per car, we are going to see some incredible things happen. During the drivers' meeting early in the week when they were meeting with Brian Barnhart, some of the most veteran of all owners said, you know what, I may pull a car out that's already qualified in the final hour and go after the pole, because I believe that if we have a shot, I'm going to do it. Well, and we will be here for that final hour. We come back with our ESPN2 Indy 500 time trial coverage at 6 o'clock Eastern time, 3 Pacific. So whenever it happens, we'll be here to cover all the action in the final dramatic 1 hour of Pole Day as we set the field for the 89th running of the Indy 500. You're watching Scott Dixon on the racetrack. Excuse me, Greg, and you're watching him on the racetrack. Is he testing for the whole team now? He's the veteran driver of the 3 on that team. And what's he trying to find out here that's going to be able to help Briscoe and Manning if they go back out?
You know, with Manning already being in the race, you know, Manning's going to go out there and feel the car. And while they can use some setup information from each other, it's really about confidence. So both guys could have the exact same setup, the exact same car, or even hop out and get in that car. It really boils down to, with taking so much downforce out of the car, the changing conditions, is whether that driver is confident. I mean, I've seen drivers go faster in unsuperior cars because they were confident. They believed they could make the car do it, and they did it.
All right, Scott Dixon on the racetrack. His teammate Darren Manning standing as they watch and wait. Manning right now is 16th quickest in the field inside of row 6. More from Indianapolis when we come back in just a moment.